What is up, guys? Greg Hall with I Like Collectibles here, and I have a very special guest today. I have Joe Doyle with Doyle Comic Art. Goes by @Doyle Comic Art on Instagram and Facebook. He's a local artist to me, and I'm very excited to have him here with me. Joe, let me bring you in here. What's up, buddy? Thanks for joining me.
What's going on? Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's a long time coming. We've been talking about this for a while, so I'm glad to finally have you on here. What you been up to? What's going on?
Not much, man. Just getting ready for MEGACON. Got a trip coming up. Got a lot of commissions coming through. Getting ready for all the other cons this year and trying some new stuff out too. So just being busy, doing good stuff. How you been?
Good, good, very good. Just doing my thing, trying to get all these videos out, and wanted to have you on here. It was on the top of my list. So, for those that don't know who you are, why don't you tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do, and some of the projects you may be working on right now.
Yeah, certainly. So I am a commission slash cover artist. I started about 3 years, yeah, about 3 years ago, 3.5 actually. And started on Instagram, got on the Facebook, got the whole, website going on. Been going to cons ever since basically the beginning. And now I'm just going to more cons, getting more well known, and doing interviews like this, and yeah, and just doing art. So it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun. Crazy things have happened in the last 3 years. I'll tell you what, things I never expected.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, you deserve it. I've seen a lot of your art. I've obviously been following along with you, and we're going to show some of you guys here. A lot of Joe's art coming up in just a moment. Very excited about that. Got some unveiling that we have to do. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that? What we'll show
So
everybody here.
we're going to unveil the cover that I have. It's a MEGACON exclusive for MEGACON this year. I haven't shown anybody. I've shown a background snippets, if you call it. You can't really see much of anything on it, but yeah, no, I'll show the full cover. So in this recording. So yeah, so it's super exciting stuff.
Awesome, man. So stay tuned for that. Why don't we take it back? Take it back some. Tell us how you originally got into comics and art, and let's hear a little bit about your roots.
So I've always done art. That's been my number one passion ever since a little kid. First, second grade, our school teachers used to have rolls of receipt paper. And whenever it was just time for, I don't even know what part of class it was, but she would give us long sheets of paper, and I'd make like a whole battlefield with tanks and water. Basically, if you got a Super Mario Brothers, or a Super Nintendo game, and just stretch it all out like the whole level, and just draw that. And that's basically, I would say, how I kind of started just drawing, just doodling and just drawing and just having a good time with it. And ever since then, I've always taken electives in arts. I got a degree in graphic design. I got a degree in fine arts and studio art, and in college. And since then, I just got into graphic design on the corporate level. So I've always been in the art field. Did photography for a couple of years as an art director, so very familiar with lighting. Which if you look at my art, it shows, lighting is something I like to play around with a lot. So yeah, in a nutshell, that's basically kind of where I've gotten here. And 3 years ago, I had a corporate job. While I was running my own business, doing brand consulting for local businesses, and I just decided I was just going to do this, and so here I am now.
Awesome, man. Well, awesome. So is this something that you're pursuing as a full-time thing, or are you still
Yes.
doing the other stuff on the side?
I am doing. I have a couple of clients that we've gotten a good relationship in the last 5 6 years. So I'm still doing that on the side here and there, but not much. Like the art is the 99% of what I'm doing right now, and have been for the last 2.5 years. So
Awesome, man. Awesome. What's the first comic character that you remember drawing? You said that it goes way back, so you might not remember exactly, but maybe some of the, something that you remember drawing first.
So in the very, very beginning, like first, second, third grade, Ninja Turtles was always my thing. I grew up with Ninja Turtles and Dino Riders. And anybody who truly knows me knows I'm a big Dino Rider freak and I'm a big Ninja Turtle freak. That's what I grew up on. Um, yeah, and then from there, it wasn't until trying to think, it wasn't until like 94, 95 I got into the Fleer Ultra cards from Marvel.
Yeah,
And Venom and Carnage were my two cards. I just collected anything, foils, holograms, any of the clear cell trading cards, any of those with those characters. I actually had a guy in Gainesville where I grew up in, who traded and dealt a bunch of trading cards. So I'd always call him up and just buy him one offs for like, $2, $3 here and there, which is like stupid. But now they're worth like, some of these cards are expensive, but I was getting them for like the
yeah,
cheap when they came out, buying bulk. I remember he would come to my dad's house and we meet up in the driveway and I just literally just buy cards from his car.
it's
But
awesome.
um but yeah, so drawing wise, yeah, I grew up drawing Ninja Turtles and then just kind of stopped doing the trading cards. So I kind of got out of the Marvel comic world, if you say so, you want to call it that. Excuse me. Comics I never really got into. I think I had probably like 5 or 6 comics that I luckily I kept because I still have them engraved now and signed, but I didn't really have comics. It was just all trading cards. So now the first you asked about the first actual piece. I haven't really shared this a lot with anyone. It's like on one of my first posts, but I have like 500 posts or more on my Instagram. But I did this one back in 2015. This was after work. I killed it at work. I wasn't satisfied with what I was doing every day, so I decided to go home and draw. So this is my first Venom piece I had ever done.
That's beautiful.
Now I have a print of this that I do have on my wall when I'm at shows and stuff, but this actual original piece, no one's really actually seen this. Um, so this is like the first time I'm actually showing people. But yeah,
That's beautiful. That's a
there's a
beautiful.
lot of it. There's a lot of it over here that's like cut out from the print and stuff that you get at the shows from me.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was my first one, and this is the second one, which is a Boba Fett.
Oh yeah. So what inspired you to do these? I know you said
Well,
that you were a
it
little
was
bored.
after work. It was after work, and it was always one of those. I I was good at corporate America. It wasn't fulfilling. Like I did really really well. I crushed the projects I was assigned to, and even then it just wasn't enough for me. So I come home and I draw, and that was just I painted, drew whatever. So those were the first like characters that I did, and I posted on my personal page, and it was like these are really good. You should pursue something. Look, I'm already doing graphic design. Like I went to school for it. This is I have a job. Why would I do anything else?
Yeah.
Like that's ridiculous. Um, so I just continued just doodling after work, and my wife finally was like, "You should really do something with this. Like it's
Yeah.
crazy." So fast forward, like I'd say about a year after I did these, I went to a comic shop that was near me, a comic spot in Riverview, and John Michael and Mike, who are John Michael doesn't work there, he moved, but Mike is the store owner, and they saw my pieces and they're like, you can make really good money doing this. I'm like, I don't know, like I work in corporate America, like it's all new to me, like making your own money your own way, like all that was just completely foreign to me. So so I followed Mike's advice. I got CUC certified. I was picking up a couple projects here and there, and it was just so good. I didn't let it go.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, that's beautiful stuff, especially for your first piece. That's cool that you still have it. I'm glad that you didn't sell it. You still have it.
Yeah, no, I don't know if I'm gonna. I don't know. That's gonna be a tough one to sell, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who would you say today, fast forwarding to today, who would be your favorite character to work on?
Probably Venom.
Venom?
Venom, just because, as you can see behind me, you got. I mean, Venom goes in many shapes and sizes. There is no one particular way of drawing Venom. You got the the human form of Venom. You got Eddie Brock with symbiote. You got monster Venom. You got bulky Venom. I mean, you got so many different types of Venoms that whatever I'm
Yeah,
feeling, I draw that Venom, and that's what
yeah,
kind of yeah, it goes with the feeling. There's definitely a feeling involved with it.
yeah. No, I agree with you 100%. Like each artist has, and that's the cool thing about Venom is each artist has a very different Venom. If you look at like Bagley's Venom as opposed to, um, McFarlane's Venom, it's very different. And that's cool.
Oh yeah.
Something that as an artist, it gives you a lot more flexibility, and that's cool. I didn't really really think of that, but as an artist, obviously you would. So very cool. Is there anyone else
You
other
know,
than Venom?
yeah, what helps with the mediums too, which a lot of people don't, I guess a lot of people wouldn't really think of it unless they're an artist themselves. Painting, for example, Venom is a lot more, um, God, I mean, you can do so many things with the brush, you can make the symbiote really like fluid and moving around, or you can do it with pencil, and make it really static, and very like
Yeah,
rigid and gritty. So, I mean, it depends on what medium you're using as well, what kind of style of Venom you're doing. So, yeah, the possibilities are completely endless with Venom.
do you work with acrylics and oils as well?
Yeah, I do. Acrylics is I would say my favorite medium to use. Oils, I know how to use oils. I did it for a few years back in college, and for fun. I don't have the space to do it. You need a bunch of open air to work with
Yeah,
oils. So I don't have that yet. When I move, I will. Um, but right now I don't. So I'm just using acrylics.
cool. Yeah, that's beautiful. Do you have any like self-owned or self-made characters that you're working on right now, or any that you enjoy doing, whether they're public or not public?
Um, in my mind, I do. I haven't actually drawn anything out yet. I'm kind of I haven't solidified it in my mind yet, and I'm kind of scared to put it
Yeah,
on paper if it's not ready to go, because I don't want to draw it and then the first thing I think of is, oh, that's stupid. I'm not going to continue with that thought, so I'm just not going to draw it again. So I think kind of like a writer's block kind of thing. So yeah, I do have a couple. Their teams. There are a couple teams here and there that I'm working on, trying to figuring it all out, because I would like to get an ash can one day and get
yeah,
something going.
awesome, awesome. And you mentioned that obviously you're doing the Comic Con thing now. What's the first Comic Con that you remember attending? Maybe as not an artist, but maybe just as a a fan.
So as an attendee, the first show I did was Tampa Bay Comic Con 2018. I
Cool.
met Neil Adams. I met Mike Zeck, John Beatty, Adelso Corona, Carlos Barbary. Uh, I met a bunch of really awesome artists, which again, I wasn't collecting comic books or reading comic books. So these
Yeah,
artists were cool by the fact that they had cool prints and books at their table, which
yeah,
which I know doesn't say much to now that I look at it now, because you can have really terrible prints, but if your stories and your books are great and you don't have any of that, it doesn't say anything of what kind of an artist you are. But
yeah,
those guys, like, I was looking at their work and I was falling in love slowly with the whole medium and the whole art of everything. So yeah, that was my first one. No, my first one I attended as an actual exhibitor, um, was with Comic Spot, my local shop. They gave me one wall of their show in Suncoast Comic Con in Bradenton, Florida. They gave me their like 12-foot by 20-foot wall and was like, put whatever you want on it. This is your first show, and I
yeah.
was like, okay. And that was after that. I made, I think my profit at that show was $75, um, which was my prints for $10, and oh God, I had like seven paintings, which were very mediocre because I didn't know what I was doing yet. Um,
Yeah.
a couple prints here and there because I didn't have a lot of commissions at that time, and that was it, man. It was rough,
Yeah.
but I made it work. I made it work, and I made that $75 on the Saturday and Sunday. I'm like, you know what? This is really cool. I could do this again. Like, you know.
Yeah.
So
I mean, $75 bad for your first show, man. That's actually not too bad for your first show.
yeah, no. And the nice thing about that show is, I don't know if you can see here in the back. I got a Black Venom sketch cover, and I got Alex Saviok. I met him for the first time there. I met Greg
Oh
Horn for
yeah.
the first time there, and Alex and Greg are now buddies of mine. Just, I mean, it just worked out that way. Like, they're buddies of mine. So they had they put the Venom heads on there, and I'm keeping that forever. But that is yeah, that started from my first show. So very
That's
very cool.
awesome, man.
Yeah, very cool stuff.
Very cool. So you mentioned that you never really collected comics. Do you collect stuff now, or are you still not really collecting either?
I do actually. So yeah, so I like my 5 or 6 comic books. I like I told you before, I had those, thought they were cool. Um, and I carried it with me all through college. I had them in a box. They weren't bagged and board. They were literally just in like a little cardboard box, just floating around, And I took care of them.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I just one day opened it back up and started getting inspiration from that, and then that's when everything just kind of all came together. And
That's awesome, man.
I collect the symbiote stuff. I have probably like 5 or 6 short boxes of just pure symbiote stuff. Probably have one whole short box of just Venom 25 in the variants, which
Yeah.
that book.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
That's I think there's
yeah,
like
that
a
was a
hundred
great.
variants, isn't there?
Oh, it was nuts, dude. It was nuts. Yeah, it was too many. And I bought most. I bought probably like 90% of them because I was like, whatever, sure, I'll buy them. But yeah, most of my stuff is symbiote related. Uh,
Cool.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I do
So
collect Star Wars and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles too.
Star Wars and Team. Yeah,
Yeah.
me too. That's good. That's great stuff.
Oh yeah.
So are you a big fan too because of the Spawn stuff, or
Say what?
are you a big Todd? Are you a big Todd McFarlane fan?
Yes, I am. I don't know him from Spawn. I mean, I know Spawn obviously. I didn't grow up with Spawn. I didn't watch Spawn. I remember watching the movie, and I didn't really know. I remember being really cool for what it was back in the day, but I don't. Since I wasn't in the comics, to me it was just another cool action movie.
Yeah.
Now I watch it, I'm just like, okay, now I see where I see where I wasn't paying attention. I see now why
Yeah.
it is what it is. So I do want to read Spawn at some point. Just haven't got around to it. Reading that's the harder part of the whole gig for me is reading up to date with storylines. I'm catching up. I'm catching up. I have a lot of trades. My other shop has been giving me trades, Urban Legend Comics, letting me borrow their trades to catch up on big stories like the whole Secret Wars omnibus, things
Yeah.
things of that nature, where things I should probably know if I'm going to be in this world. So I've been just reading
Yeah.
and reading and reading those.
Yeah, and I have to kind of deviate here for a second. You mentioned Urban
Yep.
Legend Comics. I saw the piece that you did there on the wall there, and that was ridiculously awesome. How did that come about? I'll put a picture
Oh,
of it
yeah,
here.
yeah. Yeah, you have to, yeah, put a picture on it. I'll send you one. Or actually, no, do you have my Instagram pulled up?
Yeah, let's put it on screen. See if we can.
I want to say it's probably 5 rows down on my Instagram because it's very recent.
Let's see. Yeah, I remember seeing you. Here we go. I remember seeing the.
Yeah.
It looks like you have like a
Yeah, so
Very cool. So how did all this?
he gave me that wall and he goes, I want you to do something symbiote related. What can you do? So I in that right there, that picture, I was like, well, I could put a bunch of spider webs there. And you can see the brackets on the left for the books. Like I put a bunch of spider webs there. You pull the books off, you see the spider web, you see them in between the cracks of the books. I think it would look really cool. He goes, I'm sold, go for it. I'm halfway done with it. And he's creating more stuff in the back. He's making more what do you call it? The furniture for the whole shop. The stands for like the short boxes or whatever. The ones that he
Okay.
built with wood. Yeah, he was building some of the doing carpentry out in the back. So I'm half done with this, and I got this crazy idea. Let me just surprise him and use the other wall and add this massive venom coming out of the shadows. So he comes in and he like flips out in a good way because I'm doing this venom. So it wasn't even talked about. He just wanted me to do webs. So
Oh, really?
yeah, he goes, oh my God. He goes, what is that? Yeah, that was the blank wall right there. And then I just went ham with it and just let's do it. So
Yeah, that's amazing, man. That's amazing. I haven't gotten over there to see it in person yet, but I did see both of you guys posting. I saw Greg posting about it too, which is Greg is this Urban Legend Comics here. They're in Brandon, Florida. For anyone that may want to go check them out.
amazing back issue selection. 9 different rooms, completely filled with books, 3 layers of short boxes. I mean, when you say, Greg, it's an unreal back issues shop for what it is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's
That's
big
awesome,
too.
man.
It's real big.
Yeah, I'll get over there in the next couple of weeks, check it out. So anyone that wants to, there's some information here about it actually. But yeah, really cool, man. Really neat.
Thank you.
Would you say that? And this is another question that I wanted to ask you. Maybe this is the answer. What's the most unique piece that you've worked on? And if this is the answer, maybe give me a different answer now.
Uh, the most unique piece. There was one piece I did for a. It was for a mom. She wanted her 3 daughters. Looking into it, it was for like a Halloween piece. 3 daughters dressed up in like homemade costumes, and then they were looking into a mirror of the reflection of the actual superheroes. It was on an Avengers book, and the girls were one wanted to be Scooby Doo, which clearly not an Avenger, but she wanted to be Scooby Doo. The other one was Spider Gwen, and the other one was She Hulk. And
Okay.
back then, I had not done any females. I hadn't done any like cartoon animated like Scooby Doo style work. Um,
Yeah.
the piece came out good. The process of working on it was it was it was it was a lot of hair pulling. I was
Well,
struggling on that because I had no fundamentals whatsoever on doing females full, and it was full body. Like that was
yeah.
all foreign to me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that was I would say probably the most difficult standout piece that I think I had ever done so far.
Yeah. That I can see that. I've
I
heard
was
that
like,
drawing females have done
I
it.
was like, what do you want? You want all of this on one cover? And I'm thinking in my head like, wow, this piece is not going to
And
come out great whatsoever. But she loved it, and I thought it came out great at the end. But I worked that eraser really hard.
that's awesome. And Scooby Doo to boot. That's that's funny. Throw Scooby in there with them.
Oh yeah, no, she was a 5-year-old, and she was completely sold on being Scooby Doo. She's like, no, we need to have Scooby in here. So I was,
Awesome.
yeah,
Awesome. Well, let's now, since I have your Instagram pulled up, let's take a look at some of your other works, and maybe you could tell me a little bit of backstory for some of them.
okay,
Are there any that you want to point out? There's a few that I did want to specifically point out myself.
okay.
One thing real quick is Joe does awesome work on these pops. Check this out. Do you do this live for customers, or are these already pre-done? Like, can someone come to you at MegaCon and ask for a commission on these?
Yes, they can. Those are my commissions depending on what size the pop is. My commission pieces are 50 and 100. And those are obviously, the normal size pops. The 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 normal size ones. And of course, you got
Yeah.
the oversized boxes. But yeah, 50 and 100 on that. And I go all out usually with these. They're
Yeah.
a lot of
Yeah. You
fun.
can see.
That one in particular, those ASM 300. I have three. No, I have two that I'm bringing to MegaCon. I bought probably like seven of these things and just started remarketing them, and they just been selling. When we're probably going to be releasing this video, probably what? Yeah, I probably won't have any of the ones I have anymore. So whatever I have left will be at MegaCon, and I will have at least two at MegaCon. So if you are interested in these, they are blue venom with the tongue sticking out, same pose as what you've been seeing online. So if you're interested, make sure you come to my booth. People are asking for them, and I won't sell these two beforehand. They will be at MegaCon. So,
So you'll have them for me. That's awesome.
yep.
Cool. Let's take a look at some other stuff here. That's ridiculous. A goblin
That's
here.
that's my that's my latest as of right now pencil piece that I've really just spent a good time on that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's ridiculous. I love the uncolored stuff myself. So the where you can see all the lines and all the
Well,
pencils. For
that's
me, that's stuff I like.
well, that's the thing. Like you start putting, and that's why I'm not going to color this one. I'm leaving this black and white or pencil. I'm not even inking it because the second you start doing that, it you throw a color on top of pencil, and the pencil disappears because you see the color. The color naturally
Yeah.
pops. So it's no
Absolutely.
it's no fun. And I think that's the appeal with a lot of these sketch variants is you get to see the pencil and it looks like a whole different piece of art versus the final digital or traditional colored piece. Um,
Yeah. I
you
agree
know what I'm talking
100%.
about, all the different pencil markings and all that. It's just not the same. And the more I
Yeah.
see my pieces without color, I get a lot more feedback on my detail, and it's kind of my thing. I like adding all that detail. Like I don't know if you can zoom in because you're on the screen, but like the mouth part with all the spit, that is, I mean, that
See
is.
if it'll let me.
I don't know if it will just because it's Instagram. I know Instagram is weird about that.
No, when I'm zooming in, it
Yeah,
changes the size.
yeah, it wants to correct itself. But yeah,
Yeah, it
that's
resizes it. Let's
uh,
see what else we got here.
so I have those horror comics. I just bought a print run of those. That's just kind of a highlight reel of all my best received work.
Yeah, yeah, beautiful stuff. And you'll have a lot of this. I've seen your setups before. You do a good job bringing a pretty eclectic option to the shows for people to buy and to choose
I
from.
do, I do. Yeah, all my good stuff that people really really appreciate. I turn them into prints. So yeah, a lot of those pieces you will be able to purchase through
Yeah,
me.
and I love that you're doing the whole horror thing. This is man, Freddie, I love it.
I
And this is
actually,
acrylic on canvas.
yeah, it sure is. Let me give me 1 second. I'm actually looking at the original. Now I haven't. Oh, you know what? Great. I want to. You know what? Let's do this. Let me show you another piece here. We'll do something fun here for a second.
Okay.
So I'm going to give a quick snippet. Uh, Let me see here. All right. So two things. I haven't showed this piece ever. No one's ever seen this piece. Um, I'm working on this
Oh
one.
man,
It's a work in progress. It's been something I've been working on for like the last year. It just literally just keeps getting moved to the side and I haven't been able to finish it. Um, and then this is the other piece I have shown just a portion of because this is another it's not it's not a MegaCon exclusive yet unless we are able to get approval for the logo to get put onto it. It may be, but this is the original piece of that cover. So
that
this isn't the MegaCon exclusive reveal that we were talking about on. Sorry, the camera's all backwards, so I'm trying to like fix it up.
trying to position.
Yeah. So that is
Yeah,
what
man.
that is going to look like. And I don't know if you can see all the detail and all that.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's
But yeah,
beautiful.
so this cover will be released at MegaCon. Will it be a MegaCon exclusive? Uh, I don't know. We'll find that out. But that's not the cover we're going to show off. So you actually got two reveals. Um,
Awesome, man.
so yeah, so no, so the Freddy, that's what I got. So these are the paintings. These
That's
are all
beautiful.
yeah. I got all the ones right here.
I was I was always a big Freddy fan growing up. Oh,
Oh yeah,
beautiful.
yeah. These are
The
all.
Terminator action.
I think yeah. I think I posted all the. I think I posted all the Spawn,
Yeah,
but anyways, yeah. Those are going to be on the wall. I'm having like a whole gallery set up for MegaCon. I got a vendor booth, so I got 10 by 10. I got two walls. One's going to be my prints, and the other one's going to be just straight canvases on the wall along my sketch covers. So it's going to be
beautiful.
you walk in. The middle is going to have a nice rug in the middle, and you're going to be able to hang out, walk around in the middle. There'll be nothing there, and you'll be able to see everything. So it's
It
going to
looks
be
like from when I was clicking around, it looked like you were bringing a lot of these are going to be available at the show. Then, right?
yep, yep, yeah. It's going to be a lot of canvas work, and a lot of original. I'm really pushing original stuff at this show.
Yeah. That. Oh man, that Spawn is beautiful
You got to see it
and
in person.
unbeautiful.
You got to see it in person. It's unreal in person. It's the
Is it?
detail work. Yeah, the detail work on the head. Everyone who's looked at it up close has just been that is disgusting. I'm like yes, like that's what I
that's
want.
that's the goal. That's
Yeah,
the goal.
I'm like that's what I want. That's awesome. Like thank you.
What is it? Okay, I know this book. This is a black blank. So this is just a.
Yeah.
I'm guessing this is a commission you did for someone.
No, that's what I'm bringing to the show.
So this will be available too. And
Yep.
Spawn right now, man. Spawn sells really well right now.
Yeah, especially once Todd
Uh,
reintroduced the whole Spawnverse.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
it opened up a lot of doors for a lot of fans, and Spawn is now relevant again. So, just very cool. Very
Abs-
cool.
absolutely. Let's see what else. And here's a gunslinger. Gunslinger's one of my favorite, and that's beautiful too, man. Look at that
Thank you. That was
gunslinger.
so. If you go to the next slide, it's actually an homage after Todd McFarlane, his cover. No, the image. Go back
I said
on
this,
the
this is
image. No, there's a little white there, right there. If you go right a little bit, no, on
this.
the go up in the middle, right there. So
Yeah,
it's
this
it's an homage to Todd McFarlane's Gunslinger, but I decided to do it at nighttime where he's looking at a campfire.
very cool. Yeah, this is Gunslinger Spawn number one cover B done by Todd McFarlane. Actually, the only number one cover that he did.
Yep.
So yeah, it's definitely a cool pose there. Let's see what else we got. Spawn. Here we go. This everybody knows I'm a big Tales from the Crypt guy. Look at this, the Crypt Keeper. The
It's
beautiful
also going to
cover.
be, yeah, that'll also be up at MegaCon.
Beautiful, man. So yeah, you really are going to have a ton of original stuff too, not just prints. I know a lot of artists they'll bring a lot of prints, not a whole lot of original stuff. So it's
Yeah, well,
cool
I mean,
that
it's Tampa's only an hour away, and I got a whole entire car to fill, so I literally could bring everything I have if I really wanted to.
yeah,
So
very cool. And are you gonna have a lot of these pops available too? I know you said you're
yeah,
doing
I am.
commissions.
Yes, I am going to have some pops. I just posted a couple of Stranger Thing pops.
Yeah,
I posted that earlier today, so it is on my feed right now. Those actually will be available at MegaCon. So if you're a Stranger Things fan, be sure to come to my booth and check them out. And I do
yeah.
have a
We see the
couple.
upside.
There's a couple images on there too, Greg. Just of the ones individual. Yeah, some Vecna kind of wrapped around
That's
with
beautiful.
the tendril, the arms.
It is a great idea too. These I love doing the artwork on the pots because as you guys can see, it's 3D too. A lot of the artists will wrap it, and Joe killed it right here. Look at this. That's beautiful. This is gaining popularity too, huh? It seems like a lot of people are asking for commissions on these pops now.
Yeah, no, they are because they're getting the voice actors to sign the pops and everything. So I figure why not add some art to it as well, you know? I got
Yeah,
John Boy Meyer or Mayers.
yeah,
Yeah, so I was talking to him the other day, and he has never done one. He's never done one before, so I was telling him like, dude, you got to get on the pops, man, because his
yeah.
style would look super clean on these. Because the nice thing is about this plastic, when you use these Sharpie oil pens, it looks like an
Yeah,
animated cell because the
it
light
really
is coming from behind. So and the way it dries on there, it's shiny. Like it looks like a legit acetate animation cell. So I'm gonna
that's exactly.
probably say what?
I was gonna say that's exactly what I was thinking. It reminds me of like an acetate cover on a comic.
Yeah. So yeah, so I got John Boy. I'm gonna probably take him a pop and give him some of the markers and just say, hey, try this out. Let's have some fun, you know? Yeah, I got
Yeah,
the kids. So I did the upside down here. I got the kids on the bikes and shadows going through the mist on the floor.
that is awesome. Love it. Yeah, very cool, man. Very
I
cool.
kept looking at the box. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm doing this backwards or upside down. But
Let's take see what else is on here that pops out to me. If there's anything that you want to talk about, let me know, and I could stop and bring it up there.
that Vecna, that Stranger Things, that commission. Did you ever see that one?
Here,
Yeah, that's another detail one, kind of like my Green Goblin.
yeah, that's no, I hadn't seen that. That's beautiful too. Yeah, with just a touch of red in it. I love it.
Just
What
yeah,
what do
just
you use with the red
just
there? What
marker.
is that? Just oh, it's just marker. Okay,
Yeah, just
I'd say
marker.
it seemed too subtle to be paint.
Yeah, no, I used to I have a couple. So a artist that uses gradients a lot, even if their markers are about half dead, you still keep those because you can do some nice gradients with them. So
Yeah,
that's kind of what I did with this one. It was a marker that was pretty much dead, but enough to get the color out to give the
yeah,
effect, so it wasn't too much.
that's sick, man. That's I love that show, Stranger Things. Let's see what else we got. The CSS 22 homage.
Yeah, that was from my buddy. He's like, we need to do some crazy or stranger thing. I'm like, okay. So we went. Yeah, it was a good one. It was a good one. It came out really good. I think the image of the actual original one is behind it too. You click over, like the one that I was. Oh
Us.
no, it's the video of it.
Yeah, I like these. I love these time lapse videos. Do you do these often? I don't see you post these
I
too
do it
often.
every once in a while. Not for everything. If it's something that's unique, like that one with all the lettering and everything, I was like, there's going to be a lot of detail on here. People are going to be like, oh my god, he literally
Yeah,
drew all of that. I think the next one is the actual cover of what I.
yeah,
There you go.
yeah. That's one of my favorite covers of all time. It's Crime Suspense Stories 22, and you have it marked in here. It's a Johnny Craig cover.
Yeah,
Very cool. Very cool.
yeah. I mean, there's all my latest stuff has just been like that Boba Fett on the right hand side. I want to get. I haven't had this one colored yet. I'm going to have it colored. I got to add a couple more things to it, but I will. This will be a print at some time, and hopefully, when I get a Star Wars cover, I would like to use this pencil as a cover one day. So
Yeah, that's beautiful too. I've seen this one
yeah,
before.
I did this one at the airport during layover one time, and I just continued adding on to it. Um, yeah, that was oh my gosh, that was actually a really this funny story with this one. Not anything in particular, but as I was working on this, it was one of those high top tables at the airport. I had like a 4 hour. There was a delay. It ended up like 4 hours of me just sitting there. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna draw. Why not? And
Yeah,
I sat there and started drawing, and like they had these lights that were on the table, like down. So when people were walking by, my work was under a spotlight, literally. Like, so I'm sitting there, and I had my headphones in, so I just had my head down, just working. But like, I can just see from the corner of my eye all these people just walking by and like stopping and looking. Some people got up and came and checked on like what status was like 20, 30 minutes after the fact that they passed by to
yeah,
sit down. It was really funny, and it was kind of like I felt like a con. So it wasn't anything weird to me, but it was just funny that at an airport, people continued
yeah.
going and walking and looking up. And, I had my headphones in, but they would look at me and be like, it's awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah,
That
it's
is,
funny.
man. It would.
So
I mean,
hopefully,
it's cool
so hopefully
because
that's a cover. Hopefully that's a cover.
yeah, I think it should be. It looks like one for sure. And going back to all these people being interested, it's so neat because of shows like Boba Fett and Mandalorian. It really gets so much attention on not only comics but also Star Wars in general, and it just
Oh yeah.
a lot more people are interested in it now than 20 years ago. You know what I mean? It's very neat to see.
Oh yeah. No, it's mainstream now. Like you can't go anywhere. You can't go anywhere now and not see Marvel or Star Wars or any of that. Like it's literally everywhere now.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It really is, and it's the cool thing now. When 20 years ago, it definitely was not the cool thing.
Oh yeah, it was like
I
don't
remember,
even tell anybody.
yeah. So I remember this piece too. This is one that you did for a local show that Tom Ropp puts on. Why don't you tell
Yes.
us a little bit about one of the inspiration for this? This is awesome too.
So Tom told me a while ago he wanted me to do passes for him and it's the artwork on the passes. And I was like, yeah, I was like, I would love to. It'd be a great honor to do. If you guys don't know Tom, he has the best local um, how would you explain it, Greg? The best local comic like show in Florida? Would that be
Yeah,
correct?
so I would say that Tom puts on a comic collector's show, Comic Con. Like
It's
it's all about the comics.
it's
His
all
shows
about the
are all about the
comics,
comics.
and it's I would say the best organized is if you take out like Fan Expo and Fan Expo type of shows, more to like local shows. Tom's
Hmm.
local show is like a big show, but in a local show fashion. I think is the
Yeah.
best way to describe his shows. Correct?
Yeah, he does an excellent job with promoting and getting people in there, and he always puts a good show on,
Oh yeah,
100%. But it is like yeah, he does a really good job about making it feel like almost like a family community, but a lot of people show
right.
up.
Oh yeah,
A
and
lot
he
of
has
people.
good artists. He has good artists too. I mean, he has
A lot,
Alex Saviak. Um, he has Peter Smith. Usually, he had John Beatty there in January. This
at
January,
the
I
land.
wasn't there. Yeah, he has. I mean, he has really good artists that come too, and good vendors. Yeah, it's just a great show. It really is. If you guys are ever interested in the show, usually has it. It's in Daytona, um, in Deltona, right next to Daytona Beach. What is it, January? And then he has a toy collectible show in September.
He throws quite a few of them. There's quite a
Yeah,
few shows. I can't remember exactly which ones are his, but definitely Deltona, definitely Daytona.
yeah, yeah, and they're yeah, I love it. I love his shows. But no, so going back to this piece, he wanted a couple passes, so I was like, that's fine. So I started doing individual pieces, and you can see this is the collage one. So using these three pieces, I was able to make four different passes, one individual for each of them, and then one with the the collage. And then I just kind of continued going with the whole theme, which were not made into passes. But and this was after the show, but I did Spider Punk, and I also did a Spider Rex too, which is one of the other. It's on the other posts next to it. But yeah, I did that one as Miles, Spider Ham, and then Spider Gwen, just to kind of go along with the whole Spider Verse. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
there's the other two, and I still have
Very
that
cool.
original piece, and I still have this original piece.
Now, how is it drawn a dinosaur? That seems like that would be pretty hard.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's yeah, I don't know the anatomy of it. Is like you just basically have to look at a photo. Like there's no
Yeah.
other way around it. So I was looking at I was looking at a couple of things. I was looking at a toy of Jurassic Park that I had from back in the early '90s that I still have for texture purposes. And then I just looked at a pose from a T Rex turning his head and just put the two together and just started, and this is what it came out with.
Yeah, it looks fire, man. It looks awesome. It just looks like it would be hard to draw for sure.
It's a lot of
So
repetitive circles for the scales.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I see, all the scales, and then yeah,
Then you got to shade
it
each
looks,
individual scale as it's a 3D object.
yeah, you're right.
Yeah. That's what took forever, the shading of it.
See what else we got here. There's always a classic pose. I love that.
So I colored this actually. I don't do a lot of coloring of other people's work, but this was a sketch variant that my buddy sent me. It was Mike Mayhew, homaging ASM 300 with Venom instead of Black Suit
Yeah,
Spider-Man. And I grabbed the I grabbed the sketch cover, took a photo of it, and was like, you know what, let me play around with some digital color. And this was for fun. I'm not selling these as prints. This was literally just a fun. I think I made two prints, one for my buddy who really loved this piece, and one for myself, and that's it. So there's only two prints of this, but the I did the colors in the fashion of the '90s animated series Spider-Man show, with the buildings
yeah,
kind of in green and purple. So
yeah. That's awesome. Let's see what else we got. Looks like some of these are going back to now. We're getting back to like July.
Yeah,
Let's see.
some of them are. Go up for a second. There's a Funko. Go up. Right
This one,
there. Yep, the
the Bulbasaur.
Bulbasaur. Yeah. So that one was
That's
I did that last year at MegaCon, and that was a really really fun piece. So this is a band, Pokey Bass Bros is the name of the band, and they do like um, retro kind of music. And the guy, it's a group, and they performed at MegaCon last year. I don't think they're going this year, but they're performing, and their mascot is basically Bulbasaur with the cello. So
yeah.
so which is really funny. And I have it. It's funny because I have a little sticker that they gave me, and every once in a while I'll go ahead and I'll take a picture of that, sticks on my wallet. So I take it and just post it like at a random brewery or at a comic shop, and just put them somewhere, take a photo of it, tag them, and just put it in my story. So if people are ever wondering what the hell is this Bulbasaur doing with this cello at this random location at Disney or something like that, it's just something that fun that I'm doing, and he appreciates it because I'm putting his stuff out there. But it's hilarious because when he sees it, it's just like, that's so funny. You're still doing that. And it's been a year now, but I'm still continuously doing it.
That's
But
awesome.
I think if you switch over to the next, I'm looking at yeah. If you look over, yeah, we added a whole bunch of tropical plants to him, like kind of jamming out in his little island.
Yeah, I see your Pokeball in there.
Yeah, yeah, that was a really really fun piece to work on. But yeah, like those pieces, man, like people bring those to me at MegaCon. Don't don't be hesitant. Bring it. I love working on these. These are so much fun. Like they do last a day, or take me about a day to do, just because there's so many people at MegaCon and people stop me from working,
Yeah,
and I gotta wait for these things to dry up. But yeah, if you got these big pops and you want me to do something, I'm totally down to do them. They're
that's awesome.
definitely
So,
a lot of fun.
are you gonna be set up Thursday through Sunday at MegaCon? You're gonna be there every day.
Yes, I'll be there every day. Correct.
Yeah. So, what's a good day if you're gonna have one of these pops done by yourself? What's a good day to drop it off? Should you drop it off Thursday if you're able to?
Oh yeah, first thing. Come drop it off first thing. I'm going to start making a little schedule for me because if I got to go back to the hotel one night and work on it, I can. But yeah, the sooner the better. Because Saturday and Sunday, as you know, Greg, that show is insane with
It's
the amount of people, and I can't sit there and focus on like one piece. It's got to be kind of quick, And if not, I usually ask like, hey, do you mind if I take this home so I can focus on it and not be around so many people and do something even
yeah,
better, And I don't mind. I'll take it home with me.
yeah. How many commissions do you think you're gonna be able to have space for? Do you have like a set amount that you're gonna take?
I don't have a set so far. I do have about two, maybe three people that are already bringing me blank sketch covers on Thursday. But they're
Hmm.
just head sketches, so it's nothing crazy. So I'll be able to bust those out in about like 30 minutes or so. But that's one of my fun favorite pieces I've done in the after Clayton Crane.
Yeah,
He did that Spider-Man, and I remarked a whole bunch of them. I did a Carnage, I did a Spider Carnage, I did Anti Venom. So I've done a whole slew of characters over his. They were fun. They were a lot of fun.
yeah.
Um,
That's
but yeah, if you have any commissions and you want to bring any for me for MegaCon, I do ask. Thank you in advance, and bring them to me Thursday and Friday if possible, so I have the time to to get them out
absolutely.
back to you guys.
Yeah, 100%. Because if you've never been to MegaCon before and this is your first time going, I recommend trying to make it Thursday and Friday anyway, because Saturday can be a little bit overwhelming. There's going to be probably 100,000 people there. It's ridiculous on Saturday.
Yo,
It's
yeah,
crazy.
and people do get overwhelmed. I mean, it's very claustrophobic. If you don't, if you think Disney is
Hmm.
bad, if you think Disney is bad, this is nothing. Disney is huge in the amount of square footage of a park,
Yeah.
property wise, but in a con, you guys know it's a very tight space. Put a hundred
Yeah.
thousand people, not including vendors and people that are working the show, together in one big space. You're shoulder to shoulder. It's nuts. But
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, 100%. It's a life experience. I'll put it that way. It's a life experience. I plan on
oh
only
yeah,
being there actually Thursday, Friday myself because Saturday is so crazy. I'll probably come up Sunday though, so I'm probably gonna skip Saturday.
gotcha. Yeah, that's the so the nice thing, I guess, in my head, I mean, I'm working it, so I have a booth. I'm able to hide away from the masses,
Yeah,
the but I have heard people, who don't like being around the people, like freaking out because it gets intense, and people laugh, and my wife was one of them. She's like, can't get that busy. They won't put that many people. I'm like, okay. So I had her come on Saturday last year. She'll never go
yeah,
back to MegaCon ever again. Well, so since we're on the page here of MegaCon, should we do the cover reveal?
yes, we should.
Do it.
Let's do it.
All right. So in 1 week, uh, this show's going to be airing, or not. Okay, let me put this back. 1 week from what you're watching right now is going to be MegaCon. So in 1 week, this cover will be available at the show. I will have a few copies from my website for people who are not able to get to the show because I know that's frustrating not to be able to get it. But I won't be putting these on sale until after the show. So it's going to be probably Monday, Tuesday, or even Wednesday when I get back from the show, back home to post them up. I'll send out an email to my subscribers. I'll put a post out and everything. So if you didn't go to the show, don't think you're not going to have an opportunity to get one. You will have an opportunity to get one. I promise you. I am going to have a, a couple medals, and it'll be very short. So it's when you see it, make sure you put a timer or not because there's not going to be a lot of them. Um, I will have medals. I have foils. I have spot foils, virgin covers, and trade covers. So I will have a nice little variety. I don't know if I said medals, but I do have medals in there as well. So
Yeah,
so I do have a good variety of them. So like again, if you're not going to MegaCon, it's all good. You will have an opportunity to go ahead and get a cover. So all right. So enough of that. Let me let me show you guys what I have here. All right. So you're a big video game person. So you're going to
I am.
appreciate this very, very much.
Oh, beautiful. Mario 64. Oh man, the colors are ridiculous on that too. Look at that.
So I had Alan Qualls Studio color this for me.
Yeah, it came out beautiful, man. I absolutely love it. Yeah, one of the best games of all time, Mario 64.
Oh yeah,
Def,
definitely.
definitely the best, my favorite console of all time. 64 is still a special place in my heart. But
Oh,
that is beautiful, man.
it's thank you very, very much. It was a piece we had been talking about for a while with my buddy, and I'm like, you know what, this is a good time to do it. So it's on Rainbow Road. I don't know if you can
Yeah,
see the big pot on the side under the 64. It's I don't
oh,
know. Do you remember Rainbow Road? How it had the Oh, you know what? We can actually we could do some zooms on some
oh,
show.
that's beautiful.
So yeah, so we got all that. We got
That is awesome, man. I love it.
so Yoshi Poo.
Yeah,
And then remember the big star? This is this right here.
I
Remember the
do.
big star that was always floating in the middle of the lane of the track? So I have a
Yeah,
big honey pot glowing in the middle of the track on that. So
I
the
love
best part about this is one of a three connecting sets. So
Oh, okay.
I'm only releasing Yoshi Poo at MegaCon. For the rest of the year, remainder of the year, I'm going to let go of the second and the third connecting cover. So there will be two other connecting covers to this one. You're I want to tell you more, but the characters are it's already all drawn out. It's going to be super cool to have
Oh,
all four characters together in one connecting set. So
without spoiling it, when do you have a date for the second cover to be released yet, or
I do
is that still kind
not,
of up
but
in the
I'm
air?
thinking it's up in the air. I think Tampa Bay Comic Con. So I like to release covers and big things. MegaCon's going to be big this year because I'm releasing a lot of my acrylic paintings. I'm doing a bunch of original stuff. So it's kind of like a new next level for me as an artist at a show. Um, so that's kind of what I'm doing for MegaCon. And then for Tampa, I'm probably still going to have original stuff, probably not as much. Um, we'll see. It may change. But
Yeah,
I would like to go ahead and get a second one for Tampa, if at all possible.
awesome, man.
So yeah,
Awesome.
so if you're in the Tampa area,
So,
I'm here in Tampa, so any shows in Florida. The third copy, if I go to New York, I'm going to release the third one in New York. So
yeah, that's another great. That's
so
a
yeah,
great show. I've never made it there, but I've heard really good things about New York. Obviously, I've seen a lot
New
of
York is
stuff from
wild.
it.
Yeah, New
Yeah,
York is another wild show. Yep,
very cool.
yep.
What tell us a little bit about your inspiration for that cover? Because like you mentioned, I'm a huge video game guy. Specifically, I'm a huge Nintendo guy, so I love it. What inspired you there?
This hits home,
Yeah, yeah,
huh?
it does. It does.
So the inspiration for this, you're you're gonna laugh at this. Hold on, let me show you this. So we had a cocker spaniel. Her name was Bailey. She was 19. She passed away last year, and
Oh, I'm sorry.
when yeah, she was 19. I can't really complain, you know. Like that's that was a hell of a life she had. Um,
Solid love.
she's my wife's dog, or she was my wife's dog. And so when we got together and started moving in together, you know, she was the plus one, I guess, or I was the plus one, but she was becoming part of my life. So I got her a toy, and it was Yoshi. And
Okay.
her favorite thing was to gnaw on all the little. As you could tell, I had to stitch it back up again, but
Yeah.
she would love just biting all these little appendages in the nose and everything. Like that was her thing, but she never really tore it up. So I have it now sitting with a brush underneath my computer monitor.
Oh man,
And
that's awesome.
so I see it every single day. And when I was thinking of covers to do, I wanted to do something that was relatable to me as a kid growing up, you know. And so of course, like you were saying, Nintendo, Mario Kart, um, and Yoshi being my favorite because I love dinosaurs, so Yoshi just fits the bill. I looked underneath my monitor. I was like, "Oh my god, that's what I'm going to do. How can I do a Mario cover?" Especially, and the other thing was, is the movie's coming out,
Yeah.
so I was like, "That's a good time to go ahead and do a Mario cover. How can I do a Mario cover?" So I started kind of looking into who prints Mario, and like there is no new Mario comics or anything, and then Do You Poo popped in my mind, and I'm like, oh my god, it's awesome. And then I started thinking of all the other characters that I have yet to, you know, release the ones that I'm going to that I was telling you, all the other characters that I can use from Winnie the Pooh that is in the Do You Poo category to match up with Mario characters. So
Yeah.
if you can imagine I mean, it's not an endless list, but it's a really funny list of characters that you can turn into other
Yeah.
characters. So yeah, so there'll be a lot. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm super stoked about it. But so that's where that came
That's all.
from. It's literally that little toy. and the nostalgic of it for sure.
That shows you, man. You can be motivated or inspired by anything, and that
Any,
that's
yeah,
happened.
anything,
Very cool.
anything at all.
Yeah, so I had a couple more questions that I wanted to ask you. I
Yes,
wanted to
yes.
see that that cover first.
Your
Um,
speed round questions that you had.
yeah, so I
Yeah.
kind of have a list of questions that I like to ask everyone, and you asked for one specific question to be asked last, and this is one that I'm looking forward to the answer to. It was specifically what artists or artist inspired you the most growing up, or what inspired you the most, recently. Like where do you draw your inspiration from?
So growing up, because I've always done art since kindergarten, I didn't really have like a set artist. I just drew whatever came to mind. The one thing I did love to draw a lot when I was younger was Ninja Turtles. I liked Kevin Eastman's style of work as
Yeah,
a little kid, but I never really looked at it like it's an inspiration. I did it my own way, but I just loved the turtles, so I just drew the turtles. But now,
yeah,
if you look at my work, it's kind of funny because it's very gritty and a lot of lines. And if you look at Eastman's work, it kind of resonates. I look at a lot of David Finch work. That's kind of one of my inspirations from my work now, because he does a lot of gritty lines and cross hatching and stuff like
yeah.
that. So Kevin Eastman's up there, David Finch, and then the other one, if you can tell by my paintings with my hyper or I won't call it hyper realism, but realism with exaggerated lighting is Dell'Otto, Gabriel
Delano,
Dell'Otto.
yeah,
And a lot of people, I think out of all the artists out there, the one that a lot of people tend to say mine somewhat, I've gotten Crane on so there's certain pieces that I've done that looks very Crane-esque. I wouldn't call it
yeah,
looks like Crane's because his stuff is just, his is next level, um, but it's Crane-esque. And Dell'Otto is the number one person a lot of people can see the influence through my work. So
yeah.
so
I can
yeah.
definitely see that. That's awesome,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, that's quite a list of artists there. So I can definitely see the Delano thing, and I can see the Crane thing too. What kind of scrolling through some of your pictures, and I can definitely see some Clayton
Some of
Crane
them.
as well there.
Yeah, some of them, not all of them. It's just sort of like the what is it? My pinch posts. It's that venom. It's the blue venom in the shadows. A lot of people tell
Yeah,
me that that looks like Clayton Crane's work or kind of style of work. Um,
yeah,
that type of feel. Uh, yeah. So funny thing, actually, speaking about Delato, I don't know if you've seen on my post. I am actually going to a week and a half before MegaCon, which is crazy, but it was something I have to do. Gabriel Delato is opening up a workshop, an artist workshop in Florence, Italy, for 3 days,
oh
and
wow,
I saw that opportunity and I jumped on it. So he has, I think it's about 7 or 8 chairs in his workshop, and I got one of them. So
wow.
I will
Cool.
be I'll be studying under the painting master. You want to call him you want to call him that or whatever, but for me I mean he doesn't really show much detail on how he works. He doesn't really, it's one of those the magic behind the curtain type of deal. And I'm
Yeah,
actually going to go behind the curtain and actually learn and get his head and how he works and what and why he works. So
that's amazing.
so yeah, so that's a week and a half before MegaCon. Um, yeah, so March is going to be crunch time for me. It doesn't seem like it all.
Yeah, I can see that.
So
How did you get involved in that? Like, what was the admission process to that?
so Lucio Perillo, it's actually at his studio, which is another, as you know, another famous painter, comic cover artist slash just painter in overall. He does so much more than just comics. Um, he he actually posted about it and talking about it at his studio. He's going to have a couple other artists and stuff like that, but Gelato was one of the names, so of course I gravitated towards that one. But he made a post. I reached out to the contact he put on there, and email after email, that was it. So it wasn't a super crazy thing. It was just reaching out, and I guess happened to be one of the first people to reach out. So
Yeah.
I was at Publix at the grocery store, and I was just bored. I was bored looking at Instagram for a second, and I saw it. I'm like, sweetie, I think I'm going to Italy. And she goes, what? It's like, I think I'm going to Italy. And I told her, and she goes, well, he's your guy, so I understand. So I'm going
Yeah.
on this adventure alone. I've never been to Europe alone. I've been to Ireland with my wife, but aside from that, I've
Yeah.
never been to Europe. So this is going to be an adventure for sure. And I'm going for 7 days, so I'm
Wow.
yeah. So I'm going to be going throughout Florence, going to the museums, checking out art, statues, all of that, all the stuff that I studied in school. That I thought that I would never
Yeah.
see in person. Because Florence, I mean, unless you're an artist, you can see the same style of stuff, minus the art stuff, uh,
Yeah.
in Rome. Like Florence is not. It's pretty for the art and what it brought for the Renaissance. 'Cause, most of that
Yeah.
stuff came from Florence and was purchased through Caesar to bring to Rome to decorate palaces and stuff like that, or all of
Yeah.
his places. So it all stemmed from Florence. So that was yeah, and I never had that on my destination list, and so now I get to do it. So it was just an opportunity that came about, and I'm taking it. So
That's awesome, man. Yeah, it seems like an opportunity that you can't turn down. So that's once the
no,
smoke settles from all this and from MegaCon, hopefully you can come back on with me. We can talk about all that too, because that sounds
I'm
like it's
game.
going to be.
I'm game. April is going to be my relaxation. I don't I have a. It's funny because I have the Olo show. The Olo show that they're having the week after
Yeah.
Mega. Yeah, I'm actually going to be at
Yeah.
that show too. So it's going to be MegaCon, right? And then right after that, I have a week to relax, and then I'll be at Olo, and then I'll have a good resting period. And I think that's when I'm going to really dig deep with what I learned in Italy, and
Yeah.
start coming out with some new content. As far as I have a feeling I'm going to learn some cool stuff.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah. You're definitely going to
yeah,
do that, especially if there's only 80 you guys. That's ridiculous. Only 8 people. I can only imagine the attention that you're going to get.
oh yeah, and he is the English translator, and there is no other American going there. So the likeliness of me being the only English speaking person there is probably 50% for people.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I will have one on one with Delato a lot of the time. I speak Spanish, so speaking or understanding Italian is something I can do, like basic
Yeah.
words and stuff like that. But when you're talking about hues and gradients and backgrounds and composition, I don't know those words
Yeah.
in Spanish. I've learned Spanish through my mom, so the household Spanish I understand completely. But yeah, the art terms, that is completely foreign to me. So yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense. Well, I really appreciate you coming on, spending the time with me. We can um, hopefully look forward to doing it again. Like I said, right after the show, in between Olo
Yeah.
and MegaCon.
No, I'm
Before I
totally
let you go,
game.
though, awesome. Glad to hear it, man. Glad to hear it. Before I let you go, though, do you have any other shows before Italy, or is that the next big thing on your agenda?
Oh no, 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 no. Italy is it's going to be Italy and then MegaCon and then Olo, which is again, like I was saying, it's another show in Orlando. Steve and Trish throw that one. I think it's just them two, right? Aren't they the ones that usually throw that show? I don't think they're with
I think,
anybody else.
yeah, I think it's just them too. I
Yeah,
don't know for sure.
yeah, those two. I mean, you know,
Yeah,
they're awesome people.
another
They are so awesome.
another fun show
So
for sure.
it is a fun show. So if you guys aren't able to attend MegaCon, highly recommend to go to the Holo Toy Comic Show. Usually at the where's it usually? Is it? It's not the at the Avanti. It's the one in front of Tutu Tango. There's like 5 hotels there, but it's one of those on International Drive. Um,
Oh yeah, it's pretty close to where they have MegaCon at. I can't
yeah,
remember
it
the
is.
name
It
of the
is.
building.
I think R. Yeah, I think it starts with an R. But anyways, just look it up. OLO Comic and Toy Show.
Yeah.
It's yeah, check them out. Greg goes there every year. I go there every year. I have a table there, so yeah, definitely stop by, check us out, check them out, and the vendors are always awesome there. Yep,
Well, I'm
yep.
excited for you now. We gotta talk before you head to Italy, man. That sounds like it's gonna be like life changing for you. So that's
I
that's
think
super
so.
exciting.
I think so. I think it's going to take. I think it's going to take my work to the next level. So I'm excited to see where it goes. I know a
Well,
lot of my supporters and fans who have been watching me from the beginning uh, have been watching the different steps of my art, my
yeah,
level. Because as you can tell, every 6 months something clicks up here, and it changes my style of art. Which right now is very interesting to see what I'm doing 6 months prior. I'm trying to fast track this. You know, like I'm 38. I can't be sitting here waiting. You know, to so I'm putting in as much as I can up here as possibly humanly possible.
yeah. I can't imagine it getting better because it's already beautiful, man. So I really do look forward to it.
Thank you, thank you. It will be fun. It will be fun. The journey. It's always a journey, right? Nothing's ever finished. Nothing's ever the best. It's always just getting better. You know.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
So I
Well,
want to
great
say
stuff.
thank you so much for having me on. It's I know we've been talking about this for a while. Our schedules have just been, just passing each
Yeah,
other. So this has been an absolute delight. We definitely need to meet up for lunch, though. That is something we have talked about as well, and I feel like it
yeah,
should be about time that we do it. Um,
yeah, absolutely.
yeah. So MegaCon, so you'll be there. Make sure you stop at my booth, Greg. All right, for you guys watching as well. We'll have a lot of new stuff, original artwork all over the place. Um, so that will be a lot of fun, a lot of paintings. I got my cover. I'll show it to you one more time. The Car 64.
Beautiful, man. I absolutely love it. You know, I'm gonna be grabbing one of those.
So so I'm doing metals. I'm doing the foils, the spot foil. One of the spot foils, I will say, is probably going to be one of my favorites. It's going to be normal printed, and the only part that's going to be foil is the carts, Yoshi Poo, and the pot that he's holding in his hand. So it's like as he has
Yeah,
star power.
that's
So yeah,
awesome.
that is going to be probably my favorite version of the whole set that I'm getting. So if you guys are interested in that one will be available, and it's the star powered foil spot foil. So
Awesome. Well, I really look forward to it. I look forward to seeing it in person too, because it looks absolutely stunning on screen. So I can only imagine in person. So I'll
thank you,
definitely be picking up all your links to all your socials and
thank you.
all your information below here, so everyone can check out Joe. Please do check out Joe because he's an awesome guy. His art, like you said, is only getting better and better, and I can only imagine where you're headed from here, buddy. So happy to know you, and thanks so much
Well, thank you.
for hopping on.
Sounds good. Yeah, I will see you guys at MegaCon, and if not, DM me on Instagram or Facebook. That's my second home. All right.
Cool, Joe. Thank.
Yep. No, thank
Until
you
next time,
guys. Take care.
guys. Have fun. Stay safe. Buy comics. Buy collectibles. Bye, guys.